Looks like it finally went live. Good Lord, that was painful. Can you guys see and hear me? Because I had to restart my computer and I had to do the hokey pokey and all kinds of fun stuff. I was just typing up a thing that says, I guess I'm not going to be able to go live when it finally decided it was going to go. That was different. But it looks like we're live now, and yeah, I had to turn myself around and apparently make a small sacrifice to the internet gods to get online today. Don't know what's up with that, but we're here, so we'll make the best of it. How are you ladies doing this morning? Hi, Witchy. Just got on. Took me 13 minutes to get on here. Oh, Vima gave me a scoreboard that has a cutting tool on it. That's what I use. Now Curly's licking Laura. Oh, how the tables have turned. Eventually, I'll have to get myself a decent cutter because I will admit the scoreboard as a cutter does suck. But you get what you get. So I hope everybody's having a good day today. Sorry it took me 13 minutes to get online. So we were going to kind of try and decide what I was going to do with this. We went and Vima got some, this was her idea for pages. I don't know that I want to use this exclusively, but it's because it's going to be shiny. And while I will glue some things to it, I don't necessarily want all the pages to be shiny. And so I'm going to open this up and see what we've got going on here. I'll obviously have to cut them down. It's my nature, Witchy, to apologize. And now it looks like I'm buffering. Are you guys buffering? Let me see what YouTube would. Let's see. Hi, Tina. Hi, Brenda. Good morning and welcome. I do have gesso. I'm not going to be doing any pages today. I'm just trying to open them. I'm going to disassemble the covers to get ready for whatever it is I'm going to do to it. I have given this zero thought. This stream, whatever the title is, something about deciding what to do with the giant cover is just my computer. Okay. Apparently I have angered the internet gods. Hopefully they will be more favorable now that I am online. That's the internet for you. You love it and you hate it all at the same time. So I've used the big sheets of poster board. Oh, this one glossy side, one plain side. Probably will definitely have to gesso that, even if I just glue things to it. It's very slick. So this is just the start, though. They do need to be cut down a little bit to fit inside. But what I wanted to do was deconstruct this to prepare for the cover, and I don't want these at all. I'm not sure what I'll use them for. I can probably definitely use them for smoosh paper. But let's do this thing. Get this taken apart. I think I probably will gesso the shiny side. All my tools are in my room. Failure for preparation. I left my bucket of sharp things in the bedroom. I know Curly's at the evil 4-letter word. What are the rest of you ladies doing today? Oh, they're having a... I used to have a Fiskars. I love that thing. One side is always tighter than the other, isn't it? I might have to go get that screwdriver after all. See if I can make this work. Oh, yep, that'll work. Paper clip to the rescue. Nope, definitely gonna have to keep using that paper clip. Oh boy. So it's super busy at work and you're like, I'm so over this. That's no good. I had plenty of those days in my work days for sure. I think we all have. I think, we're almost to March, and whether you live someplace cold or you live someplace warm, that most of the year, winter, this time of year just kind of gets to you, I think, because you get those mix of days, some warm days, some cold days. Unless you live someplace like Carla, like Minnesota, this is not doing anything. All right, I'm going to break down and go grab that screwdriver. I will be right back because this is not working for me. Well, you're in California, Michelle. Think about poor Carla in Minnesota in her snowsuit. All right, have tools. I got the pokey tools. Now let's see who's the boss. Probably still the book, but I'm going to try. I'm thinking now this is probably too big for the job, but I don't really have anything smaller. Oh, good grief. Let's see what's in here. Nope, too big, too small. I am annoyed. The other one came out so easy. It was like it's finally going. Yay! See if I can make it go with my hand now. No, of course not. This one is just really tight. I think it might be screwed in a little wonky. Figures. Okay, there we go. All right. Put those in a safe place. Oh, Mike's at work. He's doing the hover thing. He's got his own 4-letter word he's got going on. All right. That is apart. And those are away. We'll just tuck those over here in my little special place of things that I might need later. And then we'll take these. Do these come out? There's a thing. Okay, so we'll take that whole thing apart. Maybe I should just cut these off and make a spine for this book. I don't know. We'll see. I have to put that someplace safe so I don't lose it. All right. Getting this put back together should be quite a feat for me. All right, so we have the giant book, and it's taken apart, and we have some poster board that's going to go in there later on that we're probably going to gesso over. Let's see. I broke the nail a little bit, but I think we'll survive. If a broken nail is the worst thing that happens, we're all right. Because you know what? That nail will grow back. But set that aside. So, yeah, I'm thinking I might cut this part off and just make a spine and do it the usual way. I don't know that I really like this binding system. It seems a bit pain in the buttish. The only benefit to leaving it bound the way it is that I can add in papers later on if I want to. But I've never been a scrapbooker. I like the idea of scrapbooking, but I just never got into it. And I think what I really liked was the paper. Big surprise. You have a vintage one that holds old albums. So yeah, definitely it's going to have, a lot of pages in it because I want it to be a pretty chunky book. So I'm thinking of getting at least a 2-inch extender on that. But mostly what I need to decide right now is what to do with the cover. I'm definitely going to gesso over this. And I can probably sit here and do that while I yap at you instead of just staring at the hideousness that is the cover on this. Think of a 12 by 12 scrapbook as a journal on steroids. I have a book that I Mod Podged, ripped up old book text all over it. I'm not sure what I want the cover to be like because, I'm kind of a grungy, creepy person. But I'm going to start with gessoing this so it's not slick. So we'll start with that and see where we go from there. Don't put away the screwdriver before it's in my bucket of sharp things. That's where I keep it. It's my crafty screwdriver. I think it'll make a good base. And using the extenders on it instead of cutting this part off does give me flexibility in if I get, if I put in so many pages and I'm like, well, I still want to keep using it, I can always add more pages. This book is extremely big. Extremely big. Let's just dump some gesso on there and see what happens. So I'm thinking of maybe just covering it with some muslin that I coffee dye or tea dye, and then applying some ink and stamps to that for a nice grungy look on the cover, and then embellishing that. I saw some stuff on Pinterest that it was on paper. I really like the look of it. And I've been wanting to experiment with some muslin. And I think Bima probably has some, but if she doesn't, muslin's not really, really, really expensive. Could make a big grungy cover on this. And then I know, right? For as bright as that is, I'm surprised. I'll see how it is. If this doesn't work, if it scratches off, it's not really slick and it's not plastic. It's paper. It's just got a slight sheen to it. So I'm going to see if this does it. If it doesn't, then I'll go back over it with some sandpaper and do it again. Worse things will have happened in my life if that's the route it winds up taking. But I know I can't. So in the dog wars over here, you know, because I am the automatic door opener, I got up this morning. The lovely Miss Ginger was laying in front of Mike's chair, which is where Pest, the zombie cat, goes. Blocking the zombie cat in, who was waiting to be fed, because apparently I'm predictable enough that now even the cat's like giving me the one eye. He's blind in one eye, so he tilts his head and he looks at you with his one good eye. And I always feel like he's going like, bitch, where's the food? This morning, and Ginger was in front of the chair, blocking the cat in, having eaten all of the wet cat food and helping herself one piece of hard kibble at a time to the cat food, and had eaten everything that was in the bowl. You know, it's an automatic feeder, but I guess the kibble is just big enough that you kind of have to tilt it forward and bang it on the floor a little bit to refill the bowl. So there were just a few pieces in the bottom, and she was just comfortable sitting there eating all the kibble, looking at me like, what's up? So I think we're going to have to block that off at night. There is a kitty litter box under there. I don't know how Mike stands it, but he's a good man. And so I'll set that aside to dry and work on the other one. And then I'll get the edges after the main part's done. Yep, just got her own doggy food, but having some kitty kibble on the down low. I'm probably going to put 2 coats on it just because that's how I am. But yeah, this is the homemade stuff that Els, well, actually I made this batch, but not to brag or anything. But Els got tired of making the gesso because I use a lot of it. So she's like, you have to make the gesso now. And I'm like, okay. Can't argue with that. I do use a lot of gesso. The journaling by fives and everything, I have used tons and tons of gesso. Plus the 13 journals I have in the works for my store, which I'm making really shitty progress on. Good news, though, I did get photographs of all the paper that I showed you the other day. So at least that is in the store. If anybody was interested in the dot matrix paper, that won't be available till after the 1st of March, because that is one of the specialty items in my March kit. So I can't put it in the store until after the kit has come out. Yeah, this is Bima's homemade gesso recipe, which is pretty fabulous. I make it a little thicker than what normal gesso comes out as, but it's not quite like the one that you dump it on and it just sits there like it's never going to move again. It's not super heavy body, but it's not really thin either. And it does work beautifully. Gesso is a wonderful tool. And I am thankful to be able to. Mike and I went to Walmart for groceries a few weeks ago. It might be 3 weeks now. 2 or 3 weeks. And glue was on the list to do this because we'd run out and we didn't have any more glue. And glue is one of the ingredients. Just white, like Elmer's glue. So we're in there, and on the list, Els had put, like 3 bottles of the normal size. I use it as school bottles. But Mike saw this gigantic gallon-sized jug of it, and it was only like $10 or $11. It was $10 and some change. So I'll let that sit there for a minute because the other one's still pretty tacky. So we'll let those sit there for a minute while I yappy at you. Morning is always good for Miss Lily. She always is happy in the morning usually. It's those late nights, when they're getting cranky and tired. But she's generally a happy child. She sings a lot and she has full she plays with her toys, but she's got a very active imagination. So there's a story and music and everything that goes with whatever game she's playing in her head. And kids like that are awesome to watch because they keep themselves incredibly well entertained. And she's generally a child with a happy disposition, so that's a very good thing in my book. Yeah, it's so now we have a glue for days and days and days. But I think that's covering up pretty well. I only see a little bit of the pink, It's a little streaky, so I probably will do a second coat. But what are your guys' thoughts on just making a giant muslin cover for this? You buy Kills at Low? Oh, I never even thought about using something like Kills. I figured it would last about 2 or 3 months based on the amount of gesso we make. I use it for many, many things. So I'm happy to make it now that I know how. And we have the supplies to last a little while. She's got the powder stuff and there's really a shortage of white paint in the house. So it's only really 3 ingredients. I don't know what else to tell you right now while this is drying because that's not very exciting. Does anybody have an opinion on the muslin coffee dyed with and then making it grungy and I guess Tim Holtz-ish? I've seen you doing that on the front and then on the inside I'll probably get a really big sheet of paper and cover that. I don't even know what measurement that is. Let me get out my little tape measure thingy. This could be challenging because I think that's bigger than a 12 by 12. Let's see. Get the right end of the tape measure, Amy. So this is a little over 12 inches. It's like 12 and a half on the short end. I'm leaving fingerprints all over this thing because I keep moving it. With my fingerprints on the edges. Evidence for later. And the long end is 13 and a half. I guess I could still use a 12 by 12 paper on the inside because you're going to have fold over from the front. If I make that, I know you have to label everything. You don't want to get your Mod Podge confused with your gesso. That could be a bad thing. So I think that's a possibility on the inside. Or I could just, make something. I could coffee dye some big pieces of paper and do my own thing. Pieces of this keep dropping out. Anybody doing anything? They look really cool if you do like Curly says with the book pages. On the inside cover with the tearing up the book pages. Maybe. Do you use just regular book pages or do you use coffee dyed book pages? What are you doing over there? Oh, I know what I can show you. Let me set this aside. Hello, Miss Lily. How are we this morning? Doing okay? What's that? She's still in bed, but she'll be out soon, okay? You want to do happy fingers in the camera? You want to do your fingers in the camera? All right, come over here and you can do fingers in the camera. You know where to put your fingers? Right here like this, look. Let's see if we can happy fingers in the camera. Wait a minute. Ah, there you go there. I see your fingers. All right. Okay. Got that in a safe place. So when we went out scavenger the other day, I picked up 2 books. Well, technically it was 3 books, but one of them was a set. So let me grab this. These are the not signature pages of it. And she's tickling the kitty. Hi, Lady Wolffields. You saw her feet? Yeah, over there on the side. The camera's in a kind of a funny position. And I also don't have any lights on. Why didn't anybody tell me there's no lights on in the room? You tickling the Oliver, the hairy kitty who's trying to take a nap. And Mr. Pest who's going around the world to the left. Here's these regular book pages. I think I want to do the front something different than that. I don't think I want the inside and the outside to be the same. If Michelle, you could see. So I got this old dictionary, and it's only from 1976. But what attracted me to it was, one, the size of the paper. The paper is quite large. It is. Did I put that back after? Oh no, I just rolled it up. Oh, phooey. Oh boy. Let's see. I'm at the wrong end of the tape measure as usual. It's about the right length this way. It's a little over 8.5 inches, but the pages are, let's see, let me get right on the edge of one page. 12 1/4 long. How are you doing today, Lady Wolf? I hope you are having lots of fun. They're just green, actually. It's just a really dark green. Because I'm working on coffee, and I just put in a green batch last night. So my fingers are as dirty as they ever get, because I have not had a shower yet. So silly me. Shower cleans everything. But they're really thin, actually. But I got all but this one pile right here. So it's 2 books worth. They're in my room, so I got a lot. I put the cover pages aside, so it's the Webster's third new International Dictionary of the English Language, unabridged, with 7 language dictionary by Merriam-Webster, and this it was volumes A through G and H through Z. G-H, yeah, that's right. And it is from 1976. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I'm making a homemade clay paper disperser tool for myself. Oh, that's cool. You'll have to let us know if that works out. That sounds like an awesome thing to do. But what I really liked about this was, one, most dictionaries have 2 columns. This one has 3, and I love the tiny, tiny print. There aren't many pictures, just enough, to keep it interesting. Here's one of some playing cards. But I love the tiny print, because mostly you see really big print. And this is havoc for my glasses needing eyeballs, but when I opened it up, I just had to have it. And so I did. The one I don't have out here is I got a manual for secretaries from 1956. And I also got that apart in signatures, except for a few pages. There's always a few pages that you can't get into the signature format, however you try. So I've got those in my room, and I think I might, the 1956 book, probably not, but I'm going to try and tea dye a few of these just to see how I like them. I won't do all of them. Obviously, that would be silly. But a few of them tea dyed would probably be fun. And it's a thinner paper. With dictionaries, you either get really thin paper or really thick paper. Everybody is so quiet today. It's a Wednesday. Everybody must be feeling that middle of the week blahs. So I thought I would share that with you. So that's something that I'm very excited about. I love to go and look at books. It's one of my favorite things. That and picking up magazines, you know. Because you never know what you're going to find in a magazine. Let's see how this cover's doing over here. Starting to get dry. Still has a few damp spots on it, but I think I could probably do some of the edges now. I can at least touch it, right? So you're upset. I know, I am too. And I love to find something that is different. You know, what attracted me to the dictionary was, one, it's a dictionary, and I like dictionaries a lot. But two, it was an unusual size for a dictionary. It was 2 very compact volumes. I mean, granted, they probably each had like 600 pages, which is 300 sheets front and back. But, oh yeah, if I put a second coat on this, that's going to be totally obliterated. Let me at least get a coat on the edges before I attempt that. And although could be kind of fun to just leave the edges the ugly color. But I love to find things that are, you know, a little bit unusual. But I'm cheap, so and I have a tiny budget to operate under. So sometimes it's a challenge for me to be able to find and then afford the things that I like. But those were only a couple of dollars a volume. And I think they were the color that, you know, you go in some days. Bima always goes for the wall of bags if we go into a store that has bags. And I'm always like, ooh, books. You know, you never know what you're going to find. People get rid of some of the most interesting stuff, and it makes you wonder, did they move? Did somebody die? Did they just change? Did their interest just change? Because you can find some brand new looking stuff, like those 1976 dictionaries. They were in really good shape for being from 1976. And I should know because I'm from 1971. Okay, I will get a look at those in just a second. Definitely and for sure. Let me just get these edges going a little bit. I can lay that flat. And go look at those pictures. Yeah, right. At least one book. If I had my druthers, I'd walk out with armfuls. You just need a book, she said. That sounds about right. That should be a thing, shouldn't it? Let me head on over here. Let's see. Oh, how neat. I wouldn't have thought to use clay. What a cool idea, Lady Wolf. And it's got different textured things going on. I like it. That's very cool. You're running out of room on your shelves, Curly. I've seen Curly's craft room. It is so organized. It's amazing. don't know how she does it. My stuff is all over the place. I was just, I don't know if you guys were in Bemis thing last night, but I was taking my pictures yesterday and I had to shut the camera off after each picture because I have misplaced my stupid charger. And I have looked in all the logical places, and I cleaned a bunch of my room yesterday while I was doing it. I was literally in there from like noon until almost before late night lunatics last night, which would have been around 9 o'clock here. I cleaned my desk, and because I have a tiny little desk in there that I got at Savers for like $20, which is a really good deal. But it's a cute one. It has a little fold down desk area. I can put a little chair in front of it. I got a folding chair in there that I use so I can see my journaling and stuff, because I do write in a journal every day. I cleaned all that off and got that organized, and I did my laundry while I was in there. But I still haven't found the charger for my camera, and the battery was like at half when I started, and it was flashing red at the end, so I don't think I'll be able to take any more. Like, I got the core amount of pictures done for the things I had just dyed, but I didn't get to the pictures of tags and library cards that I have to put in the shop because I don't want to have it die in the middle. And because you could be halfway through a lot of something that you want to list and only have half the pictures you need. And that is very frustrating. So today, after this stream, I'm go in there and clean up the rest. But I have, had a rough look around, and I've even gone back and done the thing I always tell people: well, close your eyes and think of the place you had it. This desk, but I cannot find it. And I have a different camera than the one I use, but and apparently each camera has its own little charger thingy. And so the two of them do not work together. Even though they look very similar, they put the part where you put in the battery into the little slot charger box in a slightly different position. So there's no way you could interchange them. Like, probably so they can make more money, which is good for them, but not so good for me. And I should have probably already bought another one, because this is not the first time I've lost it. I lost it for over a year when I lived in the other apartment because my son put it in a quote-unquote safe place, and we all know how that goes. All right, I think that's going to be good. Got a nice, just have to do the edges again when that dries. Well, am I buffering for you guys? I'm buffering for me. It's not there. It went away. I can see it here a little bit. Pretty well covered. I am pretty happy with that. Whatever I choose to put over it, you're not going to see anything through it. So even if I wind up going with something lighter as the actual cover, got a nice, good base coat going on. That's something to be happy about. So yeah, that's my mission in life today. Find the camera charger if at all possible. I'm very blurred too. I don't know what to do about that. Hi, Allison. Thanks, Curly. Good thing I'm not doing fine art over here, right? It's probably blurring because I'm moving across the screen a lot. I don't normally spend this much time moving across the screen. So, nobody's got weekend plans either? I know it's only Wednesday, but just thought I'd check in. Maybe something exciting's going on. Got a little bump there. Are you a baseball fan, Tina? I'm not any kind of sports fan. Although, honestly, I will go watch almost anything live. I just don't care for televised sports all that much. But I enjoy the people watching at sporting events. Sports fans are quite a unique type of people, and I do enjoy watching them. I just never really been a sports person, but I get the appeal. Yeah, it's getting to be about that spring training start time in, or maybe it's already. I left Scottsdale and immediately brain dumped all that stuff, but they have spring training there every year for a couple of teams. It's a big, important time for their economy. You work in hotels and stuff, which I did for years and years and years. And those fans are loyal and a little bit crazy. Oh my goodness. Some people that used to come every year, and you get to know the regulars. They're very nice people. They're just exactly as their name says. They're a little fanatical. But you gotta love people who love what they, It's the same thing with people who do Comic-Con and stuff like that. They're very passionate about what they like. As we crafters are about our stuff. So even if you don't like the sports itself, you got to admire the dedication to the things that they love. So we'll let that dry. Just a couple of spots that are coming out a little darker than the others. See if I can get a little more coverage right there. This one's giving me a little bit more headache. Yes, you see sloth pants. It's the truth. Michelle, you only watch your grandson's sports. That's worth watching for the parents alone. Oh, snow tomorrow. Allison, where are you, hon? I love my sloth pants. I got them for Christmas. And they're super comfortable. Charlotte. Oh my goodness. Snow in Charlotte. That shouldn't be a thing. I used to live in Columbia, South Carolina. And it would snow there every few years, an inch or so, a quarter of an inch. My kids used to love to run out and build little tiny snowmen all over the yard. Because there was never enough snow for a big snowman. But we mastered tiny snowmen. We had an army of them things. Your son's team started their season last night. Now, kids' sports are a whole different thing from professional sports. It's fun to just watch them run around because they're, usually still learning, and they're just in it for the love of running around and doing stuff. I know it can get competitive, though. It probably won't be, and we rarely get anything, but it's in the forecast. You'll believe it when you see it. I've been told both in Phoenix, Scottsdale, and here in Las Vegas that it does occasionally snow. Now, when I lived in Phoenix and Scottsdale, never once, 10 years I was there. And there was a pretty hefty dump one year for that area. It's probably an inch or so, but for an area like Scottsdale in the middle of Arizona, you don't think of snow although they get plenty in Flagstaff in the northern part of Arizona. And I've never really paid much attention to Nevada because it was one of those places I thought, I'll never wind up there. Surprise! Life does you funny sometimes. Oh, it's his senior year? Yeah. He's all grown up, huh? That's a hard time. You're both so proud and so, nostalgic, I guess, for when they were little. But they do grow up and they do, become their own people more so than maybe before. Is he planning on going to college or? None of my kids were ever really into sports in school and stuff. My daughter did used to play soccer, but she just lost interest. She became more introverted. Hopefully, I know we all have the hopes, right? Ultimately, children decide whatever it is they're going to do, whether they're going to eat the broccoli or go to college. We just lay the foundation and see where it goes from there. Oh, Curly's having a French fry craving. I did the other day, and I gave in. We went to Jack in the Box, and they had a thing called a bucket of tacos, which came with this avocado lime sauce that was really spicy. So I did buy the French fries. All right, Allison, thank you for stopping in. It was great hanging out with you for just a little bit. Have a wonderful day. So they were these little tiny tacos, and were they delicious? And that avocado, Beeman doesn't like avocados at all, so I didn't have to share. I got all 3 containers to myself, and I used them all. But it was delicious. And then I had the French fries, which doesn't really go with tacos, but I was craving French fries really hard. And I don't usually, maybe once or twice a year. So I got tiny tacos with avocado lime sauce. It was a creamy avocado lime sauce and the French fries. The only French fries on the that I've encountered, I don't like curly fries. The seasoned curly fries. No offense, Curly. I know your name is Curly, but I don't like those at all. And I don't like Burger King's French fries with their new way they make them. And I know it's been like years and years, but I'm old enough to remember when their fries were okay. But I don't like their new fries. And I have eaten today. I did have a bowl of cereal today. So we'll be going on for about another 15 more minutes unless you guys are bored with me, in which case I can go away. So the cover is good and covered. I'm not going to try and paint the inside because there's barely any of it showing in there. Although I did get some, contamination on the other side. But the inside is black, so I don't feel the need to. You had a protein bar? Well, you remember when BK had decent fries? I do love a Whopper. I'll tell you, a Whopper is my favorite fast food burger on the face of the planet. Because it's just messy enough and it tastes like an actual burger. Nothing at McDonald's to me tastes like a burger anymore. It all just kind of tastes the same, but not like burger. I don't know what I think it tastes like, but it's not what I remember. The consistency and the taste just isn't quite right for me. And I'm not knocking anybody that likes McDonald's. We've all been there. So I think this is going to turn out good on here. And then I'll have to decide if I want to do that terry paper thingy or if I want to play with some muslin. Oh, sorry, Donna. We made Donna want French fries. I ate. I promise I ate. I don't know. It was Curly. Curly started it with the guy that came in with the French fries. And it just went on from there. Right, Curly? When McDonald's and Burger King had a French fry war, now it's no contest. You ate as well, but you just want now because your brain goes, ooh, French fries. Technically, you're right. We'll blame it on your coworker. He can take all the ire of the crafty community, which is now collectively craving French fries. There's worse things to crave. At least that's an easy one to hit if you really, really got to have it. Donna, I'm ordering some Grubhub. She's like, that's it. Grubhub for me. Donna has my level of self-control. You said French fries? I'm going to get some. So I think we are, Curly, order some for me too. Are you allowed to have French fries on your keto diet, Curly? Or is that a thing that's off limits? Because I don't know that much about keto. I know it's a heavy protein with limited carbs. No French fries for you. Oh, so this is a very bad conversation for you. Girl, you have so much willpower. Donna's like, French fries for everybody. Potatoes. Yes, they are. They're all starch, and it immediately turns into sugar, which is not good for your body, but it's delicious, delicious, delicious. You tell me what you're eating for dinner all the time, Curly, though, and I'm so jealous. Your dinners sound delicious. Your husband is a gem. You should never let that man go. You got to keep the ones that cook for you. I cheated all wet. Oh, you're having withdrawals. Donna. I feel like Donna's just like, haha, Curly, I'm having French fries. Well, you do need some. Your brain needs some carbohydrates. It does not necessarily need French fries, but your brain does need some carbs. And I know that the keto diet does allow for some. It does recognize that carbs, your brain needs them to work right. It certainly doesn't need as many as we shove into this. I love me some carbs, though, I got to tell you. You cheat about once a month? Well, you have to give into your cravings or you'll just go off the wagon altogether, I think. You got to allow yourself some special things. But if you stay on the wagon most of the time, I think, it's all about moderation. We'll beat that old horse a little bit. Yeah, they are. They're in everything, literally. But I think keto is one of the few diets that's protein heavy that actually recognizes that your body needs carbs, but it tries to get you to eat them in a way that's easier for your body to process and is better for you. I think they're just trying to go for not the French fry end of the spectrum. But I know that there are carbs in like vegetables and other stuff, so it's hard. It's really hard to avoid it. Michelle, how did your paper harvesting go yesterday? Did you finish all of yours or did you take a breaky break too? I still have some magazines to do. I think we'll be doing one of those on another day this week, maybe Thursday. Or we might just continue with the cover of this book if it works out for me. Depends on what I can find for materials to do the rest of the cover with. So we'll work on the cover for this for a while, and then we'll start putting in pages, and then it'll be like a regular thing where I make because what I'll probably do is do the collage-y, gluey thing. You only had a few left to do. I still have a fairly substantial pile, and I hear we're scavenger today, so I may wind up with a few more. If there's anything decent in there, I cannot help myself. Miss Donna, that is the lovely Lily, one of Bima's grandchildren, the littlest, tiniest one, who celebrated her 3rd birthday not that long ago. And she is happily squeaking and singing in the background. Unfortunately, children do not come with volume control. Oh, hello, Mr. Pest. And Mr. Pest has decided he must sleep under my desk, which is better than the last time he was here, because last time he was here, he decided he needed to sleep right where my feet go. And what do you do when you have a 110-year-old zombie kitty that wants to sleep where your feet go? You let him, because he's older than dirt. And he had to get there going around the world to the left. Well, we have, you got your Amy papers, Donna. Did those work out for you? I know we were having a little issue there, but I hope that that worked for you. I tried a whole new thing with that. Everything was processed, not in the house. Me and the garage are friends now. And that's why I called it the Wilds of Garagelandia. You never know what you're going to find out there. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you. I knew what you meant. I'm glad they worked out. I like doing the lined paper. It's a lot of fun because you get a little more crinkle with the lined paper. And I know some people put their tea dyed papers into the oven, but I like the reason I iron it is it gives back some of the suppleness to the paper. But even after you iron and press the lined paper, you still get a little more crinkle. That's okay, Witchy. And phone calls are important. You must take them. You missed it. We have covered the whole book. I'm working a little bit on the edges, and we're about to sign off for the day, unfortunately. But I'll be back. Well, I'll actually be back later tonight, where we will discuss the prompts for Mixed Media Mayhem, which is the sister activity to Macabre Mixed Media. You know, we'll be switching off every other week. Oh, well, you got to deal with that, even if it's not. Isn't she, though? She is just, there's no one like her. How can you not love? Tonight is MMM. Oh, what time is that on? What time? That starts at what time? Not sure what time. Is that usually at 7? Because mine's scheduled at 7. Maybe I'll just cover it tomorrow morning. Do you guys have anything planned tomorrow morning at 11? I can cover it then if enough people will be in. Or I could just make a video. I'll just make a video. I'll take out the live and I'll do a video. That way I won't impinge on mixed media mashups, and I can go do mixed media mashups if we're home in time. Sometimes we don't get home from Scaventure till late, but I don't want to be on Stacy's allotted time. And tomorrow is a creepy baby, so I couldn't do it tomorrow night. I'll just make a video, and we'll do that. And the dog is growling at me. Well, not really. She's just talking to me in her little doggy voice about needing to go outside. So I'll do a video for the prompts. Curly, you don't have to put pink or sparkles. Do substitutions. Oh, no. Well, you had the wrong end of the spectrum there, huh? There you go, Curly. But you're our goober, Tina. We like to have you here. Ooh, Donna's got a Prezi on the way. Nice. Thank you for reminding me, Richie. I would totally have spaced that. So I'll just do a video about the Mixed Media Mayhem. And you guys will just have to make comments and stuff. We'll just have to live with that. So Tina's a goober and Witchy's a doofus, and it is what it is. So on that note, so I will not be on tonight. I'm going to take that out of the lineup in my channel, and I will just do a video instead so that I can do Stacy's Mixed Media mashups. And then I hope you'll all go to Brooke Creations at Brooke's YouTube tomorrow. She's doing the Creepy Baby book. I love the Creepy Baby book. And Brooke's not so bad herself. So I'll be on tomorrow at 11 a.m. And until then, however you're spending your days and nights, I hope that it brings you great joy and happiness. And until I see you in another live stream or in one of mine or in a box somewhere, I wish you the happiest of crafting. Bye, ladies. Have a great afternoon.